So when we talk about the eight great bodhisattvas, we're really not focusing on the individual bodhisattvas as we know them, such as Manjushri, Avalokiteshvara, Vajrapani, and Maitreya. We're looking at them as a group and how they appear in art, and possibly what their function is. So, with the eight great bodhisattvas, this is just a convenient way of cataloging 8 of the most important figures from the Mahayana Sutra literature. And we know who these are. We have 4 who are relatively famous, and we have 4 who are not. Now, the 4 famous ones I've already mentioned: Manjushri, Lokeshvara, Vajrapani, and Maitreya. Maitreya, the future Buddha. Then we have the ones that are not that popular, they're not that commonly found in art, and that is Kshitigarbha, Akashagarbha, Nivarana-vishkhambhin, and Samantabhadra. Now, this Samantabhadra should not be confused with the Tantric Buddhist Nyingma tradition's primordial Buddha, Samantabhadra, or Kuntuzangpo. These are 2 different figures, 2 different entities. So, we have these 8 great bodhisattvas, and in the sutra literature, we don't actually find them mentioned as these are the 8 great bodhisattvas. It doesn't occur really that way. Where we find them is we find them later in commentarial literature and in prayers, in praises, Sanskrit stotra. We find them in this kind of more ritual literature. Now, in terms of art, in terms of Himalayan art, we find them both as painting. We find the 8 great bodhisattvas both as painting and as sculpture. And the 8 do not naturally, they don't always have a central figure. There's no bodhisattva that's a central figure out of the group that's more important. We can say the 3, Manjushri, Lokeshvara, and Vajrapani, are the 3 main ones. These are the 3 lords of the world, and they comprise their own bodhisattva category called the 3 lords. Then we have the 8 great bodhisattvas we're talking about now. There's another system of the 16 bodhisattvas, but they're very obscure in art and really are a subject of literature, not of visual culture. So for the 8 great bodhisattvas, we really find them most often in paintings with Shakyamuni Buddha or Amitabha Buddha in the Sukhavati Pure Land, in the Pure Land of Amitabha, the Western Paradise. And these 8 bodhisattvas, these 8 peaceful figures, are seated. They're arranged in front of the Buddha, Shakyamuni, or in Sukhavati, they're in front of Amitabha Buddha. This is the most common place you find these 8 because Amitabha is popular. And to decorate the abode and the Pure Land of Amitabha, then traditionally artists would place the 8 bodhisattvas also in the Sukhavati Pure Land. So this is where we find it in art. In sculpture, what we often find is either a large central sculpture of Amitabha or Shakyamuni in a temple, and then the 8 figures of the bodhisattvas, the 8 bodhisattvas, quite often in a standing posture. And this we would find in temples in Tibet, the Himalayas, and also in China. So we're looking at Yongle period all the way through to the Qianlong period of the 18th century. So this is really how we understand the 8 great bodhisattvas as representing the enlightened students of Shakyamuni Buddha from the Mahayana Sutra literature, and then depicted in art accompanying Shakyamuni or Amitabha Buddha, who is also a significant character introduced in Mahayana literature that did not exist in the Pali or the Theravadan or foundational Buddhist literature previously. So these 8 are representative of Mahayana Buddhism, and they're found in both painting and sculpture.